Hello, my name is Macy. I've been on the carnivore or slash line diet for about almost 2 years now. I wanted to tell my experience with the diet change and the results that I had in order to possibly help anyone out there dealing with the same things. Um, Sorry, I had to make a list. So I dealt with severe migraines for a long time. Even with the whole room dark, it just I couldn't even do that. I had to bury my head under the covers, under pillows, and I was still in so much pain from the migraines. I had severe menstrual cramps to the point of being in a fetal position all of the time and having to skip school because of them. So I had no strength in me to get up and go through that pain all day long, and it was awful. And then acne was always an issue. I had a lot of acne right under my eyes. I had some on my forehead. Sometimes I'd get it on my chin. I had a hypothyroidism and was immediately put on levothyroxine at a young age, not really given a choice or any alternatives. So just, immediately thrown on to medicine. Brain fog was evident as well. I didn't really notice the brain fog until after I changed my diet, and so it was very noticeable after that, and I was like, oh wow, I can actually think now. So it's just kind of crazy. But bad eyesight too. So I have astigmatism in both of my eyes, and ever since I've been to an ophthalmologist, it's continually gotten worse, never really gotten better on its own. So, and of course, I didn't think it could get better on its own, so that was a revelation that came later on. And then, in some context, growing up, I was always eating the SAD diet, the standard American diet. So I would maybe have a few veggies, possibly some fruit along the way. But overall, my diet consisted of highly processed, sugary, carbohydrate foods. So growing up, I thought my diet was fairly normal, and I see no one eating differently. So I just kind of went along with it and never questioned anything. I just thought it was all on me to stay healthy. It wasn't what I was eating. It was just the fact that I wasn't moving or doing something like that to decrease my chances of becoming overweight or anything like that. So fast forward a little bit, and I'm in my teens at this point. So I have such bad stomach pains at times after I eat. I was unsure of what it could be. Of course, the propaganda and everything, about dietary guidelines, I was like, this could never be what I'm eating. Obviously, everything out there is safe to eat, because why would it be out there if it wasn't safe to eat? So that was my thought process. During this time, I was trying to swap fruits for processed candies, but knowing what I know now, fruit still has sugar in it, which was still affecting my migraines. So even though I was swapping that stuff, I could never tell a difference with anything. So I was still having migraines and having to stay home frequently because of them. And then by the grace of God, when I was 17 years old, my stomach had been in such pain all night long that I was on the floor just laying there. I had typed a question into Safari about my stomach pains, and somehow I had landed on Michaela Peterson's Line Diet website. And this is where it just really, really helped me learn so much. And I'm forever grateful that Michaela put that website out, because it helped me a lot to understand what is being said about nutrition that isn't true. And after I was reading her, website, it just all made sense. It all fell into place and clicked in my head that, everything is false information that's out there. So I knew I had to try it. So that night, I stopped eating regular standard American diet. I just completely stopped. I went until the next day, and then the very next day I went and bought several steaks and just jumped it right in. Went cold turkey, and didn't even think twice about it. So I started eating meat, salt, and water. So I started with the Line Diet first. And then almost 2 years later, so right now I have minor headaches, rarely, and I'm still trying to look into the causes of that. Possibly a mold exposure is what I'm thinking that is from. But so yeah, I don't have any really severe migraines anymore like I used to. Also, my allergies, I forgot to mention allergies, but allergies are way better than they were. Like, I don't hardly have any allergies. I still get the sniffles, but I think it's because we have a cat in the house, and I think maybe that's what it could be. My menstrual cycle is much, much less painful, so I don't have any cramps at all, really, and if I do, they're barely noticeable, which is insane to me. I remember when my first period came back around, and I had just started the diet. It was like a complete night and day switch. Like, immediately my menstrual cramps were just complete 180. It was insane, blew my mind. And it also meant that I could go to school more often. It meant that I wouldn't have to miss out on different functions of my life. So that was really, I'm very grateful for that. And then acne is no longer a real issue anymore, so that's good. And then I was able to get off medication for levothyroxine and no more brain fog. So I can think so much more clearly now. My eyesight has always gone downhill, just like I said, and as I started wearing glasses, but 6 months after starting the line diet, I went to my first ophthalmology appointment, and they said the vision in both my eyes had gotten better. I'm not sure if that's connected to the diet, but I bet that it is. For anyone out there who is struggling with their health in any way, I would suggest trying the line diet and just eliminating everything until you know what the problem is. And then even in the Bible, it says, 1 Corinthians 6:19 through 20, do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own, you were bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your bodies. Our bodies were bought at a price, and therefore we owe it to God to try and maintain what He has so graciously given us, which are our bodies and minds.